Welcome back to More Knowledge Investigation. In this one I'm just taking a look at Ephraim McDowell. He's Ephraim McDowell, and of course we all know the McDowell name because we've all seen the movies with Malcolm McDowell in, right? So basically that's why you've got the McDowell as a famous name, right, in Malcolm McDowell, because they're basically referencing this Ephraim McDowell, right? And you have interesting little character like the first person to successfully remove an ovarian tumour, right? But as we know, these people never tell the type of the truth about it. So I'm reckon that this is based on the first person to remove an ovaries, right? And of course the name becomes legendary type of thing, you know what I mean? McDowell, the father of ovariotomy, right? Ovariotomy, which is taking out ovaries and that, right? But riot, see the riot, like I predict a riot in the trio, the trio, right? And as you can see, 11, right? Then another 11 for 73. I mean, in 33, right? And a 77. So you got quite a lot of code in the name, right? And June 25th, right? So again, coded with sevens and that. Danville in Kentucky. Danville. And again, more code. The 9th child. Samuel McDowell was a soldier and political leader, right? So it's like, all come from these big posh sort of families and all that, right? They don't Malcolm McDowell, is related to them, right? Come to see him family line, right? All transes, of course, right? Dr. Alexander Humphreys, John Bell. So these are all like famous surgeons. Now you know why surgeons are so celebrated and all this. Because, they were involved in the trans surgeries, right? That's the most important thing to them. You know what I mean? Not saving people's lives or something like that. But basically doing trans body surgery is the most important thing, right? There's the Stones code, right? The Stones and James K. Pollock. Get a bit of 11 in there. First ovariotomy, right? Rode 60 miles on horseback for hex. $22.5 read in the 12, the 3. A lot of code in here, of course. 7, 33 there, or 32, 33, 2 threes. And the first removal of new ovarian tumor in the world. Right. So I'm betting that is basically the removal or successful removal of an ovary. So it's advancements in trans medicine all the time. That's what to celebrate. And right into the sort of history and all this. Of course, the tea drinkers pours with a hand on the hip. And the fingers on the chin, doing the 3 with the hand there. No doubt doing the 7 here. The hip sticking really. John Campbell Greenway. another trans. And there we're going, see? Madeleine McDowell, Breckenridge. Of course, that Breckenridge one is the one that they made a trans movie about, right? Myra Breckenridge. Obviously, this is a trans, right? A Traveller's Rest. You always see Madeline or Madge, right? Madge, man with a vag, right? McDowell Breckenridge. And as I see, it's a famous story, book and film, about the Myra Breckenridge, women's suffrage. So of course, women's suffrage, I mean trans, right? Advocated women's rights, of course, was the way that the transes infiltrated into the taking over society, right? Replacing sort of normal ways with trans ways and all that, right? So obviously this is the basis on what that Myra Breckenridge thing was based on, like. More McDowell's Henry Clay McDowell, right? Myra Breckenridge, right? Obviously the name Myra is well known as the Myra Hindley thing, right? The Myra Breckenridge. Look the size of the shoulders on it. Of course doing 7. The leg. Gender and Sexuality, a novel by Gore Vidal, right? The book's major themes are feminism, transsexuality, machismo, and patriarchy, right? Aggressive camp sensibility, see? Main character undergoes a clinical sex change. So obviously, you know who this is based on, the McDowell's and Breckenridge family, right? Pioneers in surgery, right? Buck Luna. The stewing out of her head, right? The stewing, again, testosterone, right? In the process of transitioning from male to female, not unable to obtain hormones. Myra transforms into Myron. Now a eunuch. Myron settled down with Mary Ann. Here's the 1970s film about it, right? Interesting, he says here, right? Tom Selleck, right? The Les, the Salt. He made his film debut in a small role. Yeah. Darnford Green. So you see the same names and codes all and over again, right? Here's another McDowell, famous actor, right? Again, a funny looking, T. And again, it's the McDowell name. Putting the McDowell name out there and all that, right? And look at this, the naturally well endowed celeb list. Roddy McDowell. I doubt it, like, more like the micro list, isn't it? These T's and that, it's obviously this stuff's put out to give them like an image and that, right? The micro list should be like, Malcolm McDowell, born Malcolm John Taylor, right? Clockwork Orange. So, they give them the names. And Jungle Surfer done good videos on not how to give them the names of the aristocratic houses and that, the Douglas, Kirk Douglas. They give them these names, Lancaster, Burt Lancaster. and the sort of because they're the name becomes famous, so they're sort of putting their own codes in, right? This Malcolm McDowell is obviously one of them, like a T in the Malcolm John Taylor, tailor-made, say tailor-made, and obviously related to these transes who were a big family in the surgery, see. So as we see, we're coming back up to date. Unsung hero, pioneer in transgender healthcare is this Magnus Hirschfeld. The SCH, the sex change, right? So obviously, this is trans itself, like the her, right? It's a her. And the mag is the magnum opus work, right? So obviously, the pioneering work and the magnum opus, Magnus, the magnum opus, right? The father of the transgender healthcare, right? What interesting to include in this, right here, Harold Gillies, who developed new method of facial reconstructive surgery in 1917, right? And of course, all that comes under the World War One type of hex ideas, right? But as you can see, what they were doing was pioneering and developing facial reconstructive surgery for transes. So that stuff, the World War One, all the fighting and that was most likely all hex. For the large majority, it was all hex. So what we're really doing was pioneering into surgeries for transes. That's the whole game, isn't it? Michael Dillon. Of course, Matt Dillon, like Gunsmoke, innit? Matt Dillon, Gunsmoke. Now we know why they call him Matt Dillon, eh? Dora Richter. Carl M. Beer, 1906. So as you can see, that would fit in very well with the the surgeries were done in the World War One, or under the sort of guise of World War One. We're banging into this stuff in 1906. Changing genders, I was saying. According to what you would read now in the type of history that didn't exist then, see? But of course it did, didn't it? You know what I mean? It's been going on a long time. You got timeline of transgender history, read. Of course, a lot of this will be like, basically hex. But that's interesting, isn't it? The Noah describes it as a third sex figure. 7, and the third sex figure. So obviously now this is basically code, dual sexed. So like the third sex, as you can see. Androgynous Scythian priests and healers, many eunuchs, NRAs, Rees-Mogg. As you can see, I love this idea and I've rooted it into the whole history. Transgender saint. John Reagan.